Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another episode where I review modern fountain pens. This is a fountain pen from the 1990s made in Romania by Flaro CBU. It comes in this brown color. What is quite interesting about the body of this fountain pen is the fact that it has those striations and it gives you a nice grip position wherever you put your hand on. This is a plastic, this is a brown plastic with a metallic clip. The cap is pressure fit and interesting, it reveals a grip section in this turquoise color, dark green color, also with the same pattern as we can see on the barrel. So it gives you a nice grip position. The nib is quite simple. Let me give you a little zoom on it to see what I mean. So it is a Flaro nib, and it is interesting that the tines are, if you look closely, are slightly deformed. It is a Flaro nib. It is engraved with Flaro on it, iridium. It is a simple steel nib with an iridium point at the end. On the back we have the transparent feed. I think this is a plastic transparent material. And the barrel unscrews, revealing an interesting ink converter, a removable ink converter. Maybe you know, if you watch my channel, that the old models made in the communist period had a non-removable piston ink like this, so it was not removable, but in the 1990s they were available on the market, the famous ink cartridges, so they had to adapt. They made this part removable, and of course you can fit it also with ink cartridges. Let's return to the cap. The cap is quite simple. It's made out of plastic. It has this metallic clip. It is quite a flexible clip. At the end we have a Flaro. Let me zoom on it for you to see better. Flaro. And also symmetrical, at the end of the barrel we have the same plastic white piece with the name Flaro. The fountain pen is quite interesting, and it was made as an affordable school fountain pen. It is quite slim and slender. I compare it with the famous Lamy 2000. As you can see, a little bit longer than the famous Lamy 2000, but a slimmer model. Indeed, it doesn't have the integrated piston filling mechanism as the Lamy 2000 from Germany has. Speaking about the dimensions, I will also leave its dimensions on the screen. And after that, we will do the writing sample. For the writing sample, I thought to myself that a proper royal blue ink will be in order. And I've chosen the Pelikan 4001 Königsblau Royal Blue. Let me show you first how I fill the fountain pen. And then we will give the camera a nice little zoom for you to see the writing sample. Okay. By the way, guys, let's see if we can post this fountain pen. Yes, it posts quite securely. I'm not a fan of posting, but I think that due to the texture of this material, it won't leave significant scratches on it. Okay, let me leave the cap aside. You simply unscrew the barrel section. And just like a piston filler, first you turn the turning knob like this, you immerse it in ink, and then you start turning the other way. And interesting, we don't have a vacuum created. Sorry guys, let me take a little tissue to clean it properly. One of the disadvantages of this type of design is the ink will stay in between those rings. I will show you in a bit. So maybe I didn't secure enough the ink converter. Let me see. It doesn't. Let me see now. I hope that I will draw. It doesn't draw the ink. So it may have a little problem. And this happens when it doesn't create that vacuum, to that sucking vacuum. Okay, so first of all, guys, let me show you the ink. So the ink stays between those lines. This is not a good thing. Let me clean it properly. And because this converter doesn't work, I will simply remove it. And guys, we will try to do the writing sample using an international standard ink cartridge. And I think I have here some ink cartridge. Let me search for it. Well, I found two types of cartridges. This is an international type and this is a Chinese type made by Jinhao, I believe. Let me see the international one. I think this will fit. Okay, so insert it like this. You can see, guys, that this part is quite fragile from here. So what can I do in this situation? I will simply try to use, and I'm not so sure that I have here. Yes, I have here a little knife. I'm just trying, so be careful when you do this at home. I'm just trying to push this. Oh, it appears it is stuck. Let me find another one. Guys. Till then, let's try also with this one. So I have that rod. Yes, this is fragile, guys. So I'm not so sure it was designed to use also in cartridges, because this piece here is quite fragile. And what I am thinking, I am thinking of using. So guys, I have here a simple international ink cartridge. It is in this light blue color. You can see that it has this ball here, and I will simply use another fountain pen for to lose that ball over there that you see over there. Let me see if I can find. Yes, I have this Chinese fountain pen made by Jinhao. It has an ink converter, but surely it can fit also other types of. So just simply put it here. Yes, it is inserted. You can see that that ball isn't there anymore. So now with the ball in. Let me try to fit it on our fountain pen. And surprise, surprise, it fits. I'm sorry guys about the ink bottle. Just after you are done with it, put back the cap to avoid accidents. Now I will try to do some writing samples. So remember guys, the ink is the Pelican 4001. I've just inserted a light version of ink, but it still writes like the Pelican 4001. Maybe at the end of the video we will see the lighter blue. I will just give it a little push to push the ink. You can see some bubbles forming there. Let me give you a little zoom. I'm sorry guys. So like this, yes, now you can see. So I apply slight pressure to it, yes. Now I'm testing it again. It still writes like the Pelican, no problem. We have a working fountain pen. I won't post it. Let me clean the space for a moment. So I will put back this Chinese fountain pen. Simply gorgeous with this amber material. Okay. And now guys, why not? I will try to do the writing sample. So the cap is here. The ink converter is here. I'm not so sure what the problem of this ink converter is. It should draw the ink, but it doesn't want to draw the ink. So guys, before I do the writing sample, I just found the International Faber-Castell ink converter, and I think this should be also compatible. It seems to have a larger hole than this one. I'm not so sure guys if this Flaro was intended to use international standard ink cartridges, but this works on it, so I guess it is fine. For the writing sample guys, I will simply change the angle of the camera. Okay, so I have a Flaro fountain pen made in the 1990s, early 1990s, made in early 1990s. It was made in Romania, in the town of Sibiu. The nib, we have a steel nib. Judging by the way it writes, I think it's an M for a medium. It has an iridium point. I'm not so sure it has some flex to it. No, definitely no on the flex side. Let me see how juicy it is. It appears to be quite juicy. Yes, you can see. Let me now do the pressure test. So here no pressure, and here we start to apply a little pressure. So definitely we have a little line variation. Now let me test if we can reverse write with it. So reverse writing. So definitely a possibility, but guys, I want to show you If originally it is an M, it reverse writes like also an M. This is quite strange, like a medium. It doesn't scratch, you can see the ink flow. It is not lost, so this is in reverse writing. Quite interesting. So definitely a possibility, yes, on reverse writing. Let me give you a little nice signature. So review. Yes, it can do nice signatures. And now let me tell you about the fox. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So this is it, guys. I'm quite impressed by this simple steel nib and the combination with this transparent feed. It simply gives a nice writing capability to this instrument. This was my review, guys. Wherever you are, I wish you to have a nice day. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your review. If you've enjoyed this review of an interesting Romanian made fountain pen from the early 1990s, please subscribe to my channel to support my activity. As a conclusion of this video, you must know that even a cheap fountain pen equipped with a steel nib can write like a dream. And although you saw that it had some little problems with the ink converter, I believe that this is a very nice example of a school fountain pen that writes wonderfully in every condition. So if I need to reverse write with it, it writes. If I need a little bit of juice, it has. And I think that this shows us that Flaro, even after communist time, managed to stay alive on the market and sell its products. Of course, after the 1990s, the market was invaded by Chinese products that were available also in the late 1980s. But interesting enough, the big players, the Pelican and other manufacturers from Europe, had the opportunity to sell their low priced fountain pens in the Romanian market. So Flaro had a very tough competition, and in the end, this proved, although it was a nice pen, it didn't have the quality of the German made fountain pens. And in time it shows, because Flaro now still produces a type of fountain pen, but interesting enough, with a nib made in Italy. It still produces other plastic parts intended for other industries, and the focus on fountain pens has been reduced to only one product, and remember, with a nib not locally made, not in-house made, but imported from the Italians. This was my review, guys. Thank you for your time. We will see you again at the next episode. Till then, bye bye, and please take care of yourselves.